Hi there, it's Tiffany from Daisy Farm Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how I made this front loop single crochet spiral hat. It's really beginner friendly. The yarn I'm using is Bernat Roving. This is where is it? The bulky 5-weight yarn, but I like this because it has a really brushed finish to it. So I am going to recommend this pattern for this yarn. The package recommends a size K hook, but I went up several sizes to an M/N 9.0 millimeter hook, and it recommends a 6.5. So I did go up quite a few sizes. I guess a single crochet stitch kind of can crochet up pretty tight, and I wanted this to be a little bit looser. So anyway, all right, what other things that you will need for sure when doing this is what's called a stitch marker. It can be anything, a paper clip, a bobby pin, an earring, maybe a loop earring, anything to mark a stitch. That is going to be very important. So, all right, we're going to get started with a magic circle. Now there's lots of different ways to start a magic circle. This is the way that just made sense for me. So if you know how to get one started a different way, please do it that way. But I generally start with the tail hanging over my hand this way, and then I wrap it around my 2 fingers and kind of cross it, and then I kind of just pull up a half of a loop right there, stick my hook in, and then grab the tail that was hanging down, keep everything very loose, and then just sort of pinch where it's crossed right here, and I'll just chain 1 for right now. That's all, just to get it started. Now I want to work 8 single crochets in that circle. That's my first one right there. Keep it kind of loose, and we'll pull it tight when we're done. But you just want to get 8 of them worked in there. And I am working over, and into that loop. Here's number 8. Now I'll kind of stop there for a second. I'm going to grab this tail and give it a little bit of a tug, just really carefully. You'll see that it's pulling those stitches in closer. And I'm going to try and get it as tight as I can. And now this pattern, I'm not going to have you slip stitch or anything. We're just going to keep going. So here's where your marker comes into play. On that 8th stitch that we just made, make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's one hiding here down underneath my hook. I want to simply slip this stitch marker through that loop. That'll tell me that that's the last stitch of the round. Okay, now in the front loop of this single crochet that's looking at you, stick your hook in there, and we will work 2 single crochets. We are working 2 single crochets in each of the front loops of each stitch around, so that our end we will have 16. Keep going. And I like to recommend that you count after every row. We're only increasing 4 times, and so, or is it 3 times? Well, four rounds of increase. And here we are. Now we know that this is the last, so we will take this stitch marker out, kind of drop it to the side, make the 2, and we want to for sure mark this one we just made. The last stitch of every row needs to be marked so that you know for sure. And then go ahead and double check that you did 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16. And this one sometimes gets buried down in there. Now for this row, for increasing, we will work 2 front loop single crochet into the first stitch, followed by 1 front loop single crochet into the next. Now repeat that all the way around, and you'll have 24 front loop single crochets. I just worked into the last stitch for that round, so I'm going to replace my stitch marker right here. And now for the next round, we will have, you'll work 2 single crochets into the first, followed by 1 single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. And repeat that all the way around. So it's 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. All right, for that round, you should have 32 all the way around. So I've already marked my last stitch. I just finished this round and marked my last stitch. Now for this round, and this is the last time we'll be increasing, we will work 2 into that first stitch, and then we will work 1 single crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. So work 2 in that one, 1, 2, 3. 1 in each of the rest of those. Okay, you're looking at the underside of the hat. This will be our outside of the hat, but keep going, and I'll meet you back around. This is the last section of those stitches for this row, and I wanted to make sure that at the end of each round, it should, end with just the 1 single crochet in each stitch. So that's how you'll know if you kind of messed up your counting, is that it doesn't work out equally. But on every round, it should end with just the 1 single crochet. So that was my last stitch. I'm still going to use my stitch marker, but I won't have to really move it after anymore. I can kind of keep it in here, put it towards the back. And that tells me that that's where one complete round begins and ends. And now all we are going to be doing is working 1 front loop single crochet into each stitch all the way around. And you'll just keep going and going. You do not have to join any rounds or anything. Turns out to be a really nice spiral hat. And then I'll show you how I have finished the hat. So you're going to want to do about 14 rounds. You, of course, try it on your head and see, and you could keep going if you wanted to make more of a brim, that you turn up. But if you want it to be a beanie, about 13 or 14 rows was perfect for my daughter. So all depends on, you know, the size of your head. But that's all you do, is just keep going around and around. Okay, so I have one that I've made that is in the process, and I did my 14 rows, and I'm right here at the end of it. So I want to show you the last stitch that you need to do. So you see how I left my marker up here? That just told me where I could begin and end. So all I did was just kind of figure out, come down here. I knew this was my last stitch right here. So I will simply slip stitch into the next stitch like that. And I'll pull through, give this a little bit of a, clip this off, give me a little bit of a tail. And now I will use my tapestry needle to start weaving in this end. And what I really want to do is kind of disguise this stitch at the first. So I go ahead and slip it right in and get it kind of down in there, maybe come back up this way and try and disguise this the best I can, and work it back through, maybe so that it's not too noticeable. Anyway, so just keep weaving those ends in. You'll see how we can kind of fudge that and make it kind of blend in. And then the last thing that you'll need to do is make a pom-pom. So here's what the top of my hat looks like. If you feel like after you get that worked and you need it, you know, you can always pull your magic circle just a little bit tighter, get that, or you know, you can leave this plain. Maybe you don't want to put a pom-pom. But all I did to attach a pom-pom was I made a pom-pom, and then when you tie the strings around the pom-pom, I just tied, you pull those strings through, tie them up, and just knot them. And that's how you attach the pom-pom. If you buy a pom-pom, you'll see that they have 2 strings attached to them. You'll just thread them through and tie this into a little knot. I like my gold sparkly embroidery floss. It seems to hold them really well. So that is all. It is so beginner friendly. I love it, and I loved this subtle look. Now, after you get done, and maybe before you put your pom-pom on, maybe you'll like this side better. But I can definitely see this with a larger brim too. You could actually do this amount, and maybe it could be a child's hat. Lots of different options for a very, very easy hat pattern. So anyway, that's how it's made. All front loop, single crochet, no joining the rounds, which I absolutely love. There's no seams, nothing, and it turns out really nice. So enjoy your hat. Come and show them to us on our Facebook page, Daisy Farm Crafts, or come join our Daisy Farm Crafter group and come share with the community of people that are making Daisy Farm patterns. We absolutely love to see your work, and it is just so inspiring for others as well. We also have an Instagram account, and you could always hashtag your post, Daisy Farm Crafts, and we love to share those every Sunday up to our stories. So, okay, everyone, you have a good day. Thanks.